So this is how they do it in the Philippines. I ordered some soup. It's called Batchoy. I've had it on my videos before, but this is very hot. I'll show you why. First of all, I've got to cut open the bag. Hopefully I won't have a disaster on this. All right, see if we can open the bag. It might just surprise you how they do this. Trying to do it one-handed. Well, that doesn't look much like soup. There we go. That doesn't look like soup at all, does it? No, it doesn't. Well, what's that strange stuff wrapped in banana leaves? I have no idea. And then you want to see something special. Whew, it's hot. Whoa, that's so hot. The hot scalding broth is in a bag. Now, how are we going to remedy this situation? That looks dangerous. First of all, I'm going to take this and put it in here because that's way too much broth for this bowl. I mean, I just have to keep refilling it out of that plastic bag. First of all, it's got egg, it's got beef, let's call them like organ meats, they call it offal, whatever, however you pronounce it. And then the noodles, look at that beautiful ring in the bottom. I'm just joking. These are called, it's actually noodles. It's called miswa. So once I get the broth in there, it'll look a lot nicer. So I'm gonna get the broth in there. It's gonna take me a little bit of doing. Okay, so I got the broth all out of that bag. This is how much is left. Oh my God, look at all the broth. And so anyway, there's the miswa noodles. They've taken a hot bath and they're feeling pretty good in the hot tub there. So they kind of expand out a little bit. And then I've got all this excess broth here. Now, you wonder what's the deal with all the broth? Well, Filipinos love broth. They call it sabaw. Sabaw. S-A-B-A-O, I believe. I don't know. Then this little number right here, this is a banana leaf, and these little strings are strings made out of the banana leaf. And then inside they have what's called puto, P-U-T-O, not to be confused with the Mexican term for puto. That's a whole different story. You may know that. If you don't, look it up. But anyway, this puto is like a rice cake, a bread. You can break it open, but you see how absorbent that is. Now I'll show you what you do with it. I mean, it just soaks up all the sabaw or the broth. So I'm gonna eat some. That's what this is for. You can throw it in there if you want. I'm probably breaking all the Batchoy rules here, but this is spelled B-A-T-C-H-O-Y, Batchoy. And Iloilo City is famous for it. Yeah, Iloilo is famous for their Batchoy. And it's just a soup that's made out of different cuts of meat, I guess, but mostly like internal organs. And it really makes a great sabaw, a great broth. And it's particular here to Iloilo. I'm not saying they won't make it somewhere else, but you see Batchoy places all over Iloilo City. And then one of the great topics of conversation in Iloilo City, well, who's got the best Batchoy? Well, I had that very conversation yesterday with my taxi driver, a Grab driver. And I'll ask sometimes, I'll just keep the conversation going. I said, where's your favorite Batchoy? And there's several different ones. There's Ingo's, there's Alicia's. My Grab driver shouted out Alicia's. He really liked Alicia's. And I actually ate there a couple of weeks ago when a friend from the U.S., Winnie, came to visit us. And me and Flora and Winnie went to Alicia's Batchoy in La Paz. Now, I think the original Batchoy house is in Haro. Jaro. And that's what he told me anyway. He said, oh, it's always better at the original place. Well, that may be true. It may not be true. I don't know. I'm not the tester or the expert on Batchoy. Although I have put down a lot of bowls, I'm going to put this one down pretty fast because it's going to get cold on me. But have you ever seen a soup delivered in a bag like that? For the American, that's just a little bit tricky to handle. But anyway, that's the way it is. That's the way it is here in the Philippines. And yeah, we got cool little stuff like this, like the puto. And the batchoy is delicious. This was made by a batchoy house called Popoy's. Popoys. Popoys. Sounds like Popeyes or something, but Popoys. And they're supposed to be one of the very famous batchoy places. In fact, I say batchoy house, but if you have a restaurant specializing in batchoy, they call it batchoyahan, or you could have. There's a famous soup called bulalo. It's a Filipino soup, and bulalohan, So they put the HAN here in Iloilo after whatever you're making. You've got a HAN on the end of it. So anyway, I'm going to sit down and enjoy my batchoy, and I just want to bring that to you. Just one thing, I was talking to my wife the other day, and we're talking about a lot of expats come, and they just hate the food in the Philippines. They just don't like. Well, do you eat Filipino food? No, I don't. I don't eat any Filipino. We just cook at home, or I go to McDonald's or whatever. Part of being able to adapt and how do we say it in America, assimilate into the culture is through the process of assimilation. You have to try some new things, and you don't have to, but you sure will have some new favorites if you do. And batchoy is one of my favorites. Not one of my wife's favorites, but I really like it. So anyway, with that, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching the Philippines Project. Okay, so let's see about the adobong manok. Got a little bit of pork in it. Everything's cooked down. Got a nice broth or sabaw. The sinigang is good. Time to eat.